I love doing long runs. How about you? So I said I enjoy doing long runs, and they don't have to be hard. So over the years I've learned a few things about making my long runs a little easier. I want to share those with you today. Before I do that, my name is Ralph and this is the Ageless Runner. If you're new here, I'd love to have you subscribe. Just hit that subscribe icon down in the corner of this video anytime. Thank you so much. Now the first tip is what I call to unpsych yourself, and that's kind of changing the way you think about the long run, how you perceive it. For example, I check my blood pressure at home once or twice a month, not a lot, because I have really low blood pressure. My wife keeps asking me why aren't I passed out, because it's so good. You take me in the doctor's office and it's up 10 to 15 points. Why is that? Well, so about going to the doctor's office, it gets me excited, I guess. So even though I don't feel nervous about going to the doctor, there's something within me that just kind of maybe upsets me or psychs me out a little bit, and my blood pressure goes up. Same thing I have with a long run. Long runs are hard, and maybe you've done long runs and you realize how hard they are. Even though you don't feel it, there's something inside you that's kind of making you a little anxious, and therefore you're going to perceive the run as harder. So start looking at your long run as an opportunity, as a gift. Not everybody can do running, and certainly not everybody can do a long running. So what a gift you have that you can do that. So look at it as a gift, and I get excited about long runs because it's probably taking me further down the road to whatever goal I'm trying to achieve. If I'm trying to do training for a half marathon, I go out and do a long run today, I'm excited about it because that's getting me closer to doing that race. So look at it as an exciting opportunity and a privilege to do that. So that will hopefully get rid of some of that anxiousness that you may have. You may not even be aware that you have it, but build some excitement in that long run. The other thing you can do that I've started doing in my doctor's office is do a little deep breathing. Before you do your long run, sit down, relax, breathe in through your mouth, hold for a count of 1 or 2, and let it out through your nose. Just do that for a minute or so and kind of get that relaxation started. Then start thinking about how exciting it is to go out and do that long run, and then off you go. Now, if you're new to running, you should have a good base. You should be able to run like 3 miles pretty consistently before you think about trying to increase that long run distance. So you want to have a good base, a good foundation to begin increasing that distance. So my next tip is to take it easy. By that I mean keep an easy pace. If you monitor heart rate zones, that would be like heart rate zone 1 and 2. Heart rate zone 1 is 50 to 60% of your max heart rate. Zone 2 is 60 to 70%. So ideally, keep your heart rate below 70% of your max heart rate. That's kind of going to be an easy pace. The other key is if you can hold a conversation while you're running. If you can do that, you're going at an easy pace. Now, I would also suggest you do a run, walk, run. If you're not a run, walk, run aficionado, I'll put some links down below to help you learn about that. That will help you have an easier pace and make it easier for you to get those long distances. Now, heart rate zone 3 is considered the aerobic zone. That's 70 to 80%. You can also run in that zone, but I would suggest you keep it to the lower range. In other words, keep your heart rate maybe below 75% of your max heart rate. Again, you want to keep your pace easy, do run, walk, run. The other thing to do is don't increase your distance by more than 10%, say a week or every long run. So the other thing to do is to back off on one of your long runs every 4 to 6 weeks. Reduce your long run distance by 25 to 30%. For example, if you just did a long run as 10, rather than increasing it to 11 miles in your next long run, maybe you back it off to 7 or 8, just to give your body a better chance to recover and recoup and get ready for your next long run when you do try to do those 11 miles. Now, the next tip in taking it easy also relates to the unpsych yourself part, and that is ignore time, ignore pace, ignore how long it's going to take you. As soon as you start thinking about time and trying to meet a pace or trying to meet a time, you're probably going to be running too fast, you're going to be running too hard, and you run the risk of not getting your distance. And that's the key thing about long runs, is focus only on the distance, not the time. As soon as you start focusing on the time, well, you run the risk of pushing yourself too hard. So focus only on distance, don't worry about pace, don't worry about time. Make sure you're running so you can do that easy conversation. Now, my next tip is kind of the opposite of tip 2. Tip 2 being take it easy. Tip 3 is push yourself, but you don't push yourself during a long run. You push yourself during one of your short run days or one of your alternate run days. So by pushing yourself, I mean to do a couple of different things, whatever works best for you. Do strength training, but also when you do run, maybe do intervals where you run really fast for half a minute and then walk or slow jog for another half a minute. Some kind of interval where you run hard and then slow jog or walk. I think if you have hills by you, doing hill repeats are great. Running up and down the hill for a half a dozen times, whatever, is great for building up your strength and endurance. The other thing you do is spend time in zone 4. Zone 4 is the anaerobic zone. That's 80 to 90% of your max heart rate. So spending time in the anaerobic zone means that your body's making a lot of lactate, but it's not absorbing it as quickly as if you're in aerobic. When you're in an aerobic zone, your body's making lactate and it's using that to fuel your energy, but your body's also processing that lactate. But once you get into zone 4, it's not doing that. It's going to build up. And that buildup of that lactate is what will make you tired. But you want to spend time up there to increase the point of where you get exhausted, where you get tired. So spending time in zone 4 or even zone 5, if you want to push yourself a little bit, will increase your strength and endurance and make it easier to do your long run. Now, so we've done a long run, we pushed ourselves. The other key aspect to increasing and making your long runs easier is to rest. You need rest time between long runs or short runs. For me, at my age, I never run 2 days in a row. If I do a long run, depending on how long it is, I'll take at least a week to 10 days off before I do another long run. Depends on the distance, but you need to give your body adequate rest and adequate sleep to repair itself and get ready for your next hard run. So make sure you get adequate rest. Another tip during your long run to make it a little easier is to bring fuel and hydration. You need 40 to 60 grams of carbohydrates per hour of running. And of course you need water too. It depends on, you know, whether it's a hot day, a cool day or whatever. But you need to bring those with you, whether you bring an energy gel. I used to have a work colleague that when she did long runs, she would make a jelly sandwich, cut it into four, and take those with her as her fuel. So there's all kinds of things you can do. But if you're gonna be running for more than an hour, bring fuel and hydration. So get excited about those long runs. They're a privilege and an opportunity to improve yourself. Hope some of these tips help you. If you like this video, please scroll down a little bit and hit that like icon. And while you're at it, if you're new, I'd also love to have you stick around and subscribe, or just hit that subscribe icon. Hey, thanks again for watching and happy running.